dun dun da da, da dun dun da da, da dun dun da da.
Good morning, children. This should go down as a historic podcast. Not that it's going to be any good. I don't know. I could fail to deliver and all that. But Cappy is finally. I am finally. I got my Tigger mug. Rhymes with whoa. So early on a Monday morning. So how this is really good coffee. You know, let me tell you a story about this mug because people are fucked in the head. Slam that, get that done on. That was going to go to Goodwill or someone's going to throw it away. I won't mention who, but somebody owned it and they didn't want to keep it. I'm like, what the hell is the matter with you? Who doesn't like Tigger? Who does? I mean, there's some things in life that you just everybody likes. Norm Macdonald, Santa Claus, Tigger, and they didn't want to keep that coffee mug. And the GF came up to me, you want this coffee mug? I'm like, hell yeah, I want that coffee mug. What the hell's the matter with you? And so I got that coffee mug. And I got a Snoopy coffee mug. I like Snoopy and Tigger. Who doesn't like Snoopy? There's another one. Something's wrong with you if you don't like chocolate ice cream. Something's wrong with you if you don't like Snoopy. Something's wrong with you if you don't want a Tigger mug. Dark people. People with no souls. Vampires that walk a mile. I don't like Tigger. What do you like, Eeyore? Like, kids don't even know who I'm talking about. Anyway, despite what the great one says, despite what old people in my social circle down here, oh, Cappy, you'll never get the house done. Ah, ha, ha, look at this young man over here, said the older men who know me. Oh, look at that foolish boy. I got it done. It's all done. And I can't even go through. I got the binder right there. The binder, because people say, well, what are you constantly working on? What do you don't understand what a fucking Moby Dick. I caught Moby Dick. Captain Ahab didn't catch Moby Dick. I caught Moby Dick. Fucking skewered him. Turned him into fucking sushi. I think Moby Dick was male. I don't know. I got a booklet in our book, a binder there with all my to-do lists of everything I did. Everything. And I was trying to remember this morning, like, shit, I can't just say, like, yeah, the house is done. I've been saying that for years. And then some fucking thing would always pop up. Fucking light. See, and people think that I just make it up or I have short-sighted vision. It's like, no, lightning strike, pretty big deal. Like, I couldn't predict that. Forest fire, kind of couldn't predict that. It thankfully never hit my house, but had to evacuate. There's a bunch of shit. I don't go through all the details, but like ants, let me give you an example. Ants coming out of the jet tubes in the hot tub. How the fuck are ants getting into the jet tubes of the hot tub? You know, you turn on, oh boy, I don't know, long fucking day. Maybe while I sit in the hot tub, one of the few really nice things I've afforded myself, right? Okay, this is your forever home. You got to sit here and chill out. I want to look at the forest. I want to chill. I want to relax. Okay. I designed the deck also to, well, okay. I designed it. The cousin fucker contractors didn't build it, but I designed it to support a deck. So you go and I turn it on. All of a sudden there's like little, what are these little things coming out of the jets? Fucking ants. What's in the jets? I put chlorine in there. What are they're going after the water. What, chlorinated water with all the chemicals? How are they alive? What are these fucking nuclear ants? You gotta flush it out, drain it out. Fucking chemicals in. Fucking drain it out. Put some fucking way. Let me tell you about Far Cry 5. Okay, this is, and so just so you know, and I think a lot of you already kind of know the concept of what I'm talking, how nothing is just straight fucking forward. Every project you have, no matter how major or minor, is going to take 3 times the amount you think it's actually going to take. So I finally got some free time. I'm looking at my to-do list. I'm like, oh my God, it's done. We can go and move on to other things, some fun things. So for the first time in a while, I went out, I bought some video games, right? Now I got a PlayStation 5. Don't get the PlayStation 5. There's no games for it. Right? You say, oh, but it's backwards compatible. No, it isn't. It's not backwards compatible. Because in the billions of things they've had, I mean, you got a computer. That's what it is, right? This is not a console, put in, turn on, play. That's not it. Those times are over. You dipshits kept voting and buying like, oh, it's got added functionality, which just means more shit that can break down. So I see Far Cry 5. And then I also got Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm going to give that another shot. I didn't like it that much, but what the fuck else am I going to buy? PlayStation 4 games. All right, this should work. I played The Witcher 3. That worked all right. These should work fine. Plus, there's no games for PlayStation 5. So I go get Far Cry 5. I put it in freezes. Right in the introductory scene, it freezes. Now, oh, by the way, these introductory scenes are very long because the failed writer who couldn't get into Hollywood, they hired to write the script for Far Cry 5. For all you writers of Far Cry 5, I hope you get hit by a fucking truck. They make you, I looked this up, like, is there a way you're hitting every fucking possible button? See how complicated this already has become? See, do you see how complicated this has become? I should just be able to take the fucking disc, put it in the fucking thing, and start playing. No, you can't, because a small dick motherfucker group of writers decided, no, I have a story to tell, and you're going to sit down and read it. So I get off the helicopter. For those of you who played the game, freezes. I'm not kidding. I literally got to play it 4 seconds before it freezes. Go online. Why is it freezing? Oh, this is common. See, the solution is here it comes. Here it comes where I got to be a computer science major to figure this shit out. You see, it's trying to update to the cloud. Why is a game located locally trying to update to the cloud? Why is it? What is it? Because it's saving to the cloud. I don't want it to save to the cloud. I want to save it on the hard drive. So now I got to go grab a cord. I'm going to plug in the fucking internet. You know what that does? Holy shit. This PS5 hasn't been updated in a whole 45 seconds. We need to download fucking gigabytes and terabytes of shit. My controller, it didn't need these updates. They don't need updates. I played The Witcher just fine. So now I have to wait like about 45 minutes for the PlayStation to update. The controller had some fucking poop fart update. And then you have you can't do nothing. It's updating. Then I have to go into the settings. This is what I want to do. This is what you know what didn't have settings? Nintendo, Atari, they didn't have settings. You turn it on and it played. Go to save data, whatever. There's like 8 options, like going through your cell phone. Go to PS5, not PS4, PS5. Go to auto sync. Fuck you. There is hundreds of billions of dollars in profit, not sales, profit for any one of you motherfuckers there in the IT world who can make a console that fucking works, is in a goddamn computer, has integrity across all the different, it just plays the fucking game. There's no updates, there's no this, there's no that, and you make games that are good with girls with big tits and no tattoos. Hundreds of billions of dollars in profits, not sales. There's a difference. If you don't know, I suggest you get educated. If you just make a good product with tits at a fair price. This is my victory lap, right? This is me celebrating. This is me, hey, the house is finally fucking done. Hey, all the major shit. I mean, yes, okay, you're going to have to mow, right? Obviously, I know. You're going to have to, wash. I regular scheduled me. I'm talking like the fucking deck is resupported, repoured concrete, insulated the fucking insulating footings. That's a fun one. They didn't put the footings down below the freeze line out here in South Dakota. So instead of redigging them up, what you got to do is you got to dig around. And then you got to get polystyrene, the type that doesn't decay underground. insulation. You put that down. Then you got to get literally tons of gravel. Well, you don't, not for one particular, but if you're going to spread it around and it's got about a 3-foot diameter, wheelbarrowing down and putting gravel on top of it. Okay, now that's insulated. That should be fine. After all that shit and ants in the fucking jets and a whole litany of other shit that's right over there in that fucking binder, 3.5 years of bullshit. I go and I try and buy Far Cry 5, and now I'm 3 levels in to the asshole of a PlayStation 5 operating system updating whether or not the fucking game saves to the cloud or not. And that apparently was the glitch. So I go through it, says, well, you're not updating to the download, the update to the PlayStation happens. Okay. Hey, we've updated your PlayStation. You can use your PlayStation again. Fuck you. All right. I go in the fucking thing. I'm like, I'm not updating to the cloud right now up to begin with. No, just a fucking bug. There's no solution. Now I get to go back to the GameStop. Get back my $7 or whatever the fuck I spent on this used game. This is what awaits you in retirement. This is fun. See, a lot of you, and dude, it's all going to go into, I got to figure out the books I'm going to write. The mistake economy, zero world problems, all this other stuff. What pisses me off, and I'm warning you guys now, okay? All of us, unless you're a rich white girl from Edina, okay? All of us have to go. We all have our own hero's journey, whether you know it or not, and whether you want it or not. It's kind of a blessing. God or nature is going to give you at least one hero's journey, and that is to get out of poverty. Unless, of course, you were born wealthy. Then you have a different hero's journey, like called How Not to Be a Fucking Sanctimonious Dickhead from Edina. But for the rest of us normal people who are superior to you rich assholes who inherited it all, unlike you Nepo babies, us superior normal people, we have a hero's journey. We have to go from poor and maybe not stupendously wealthy, but financially stable, right? And then you have this idea of what it's going to be like to be financially stable or rich. And even if you were to make it to wealth, like rich, right? You're going to, let's say you want to become rich, and let's say you actually become rich. The days where you could actually enjoy that wealth, I think, are fucking gone. I'll give you a perfect example. Boats. Now, boats have always been problematic. They're always a pain in the ass. Right? I can't wait. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. So you go get a boat. I knew a guy who had a boat. It was a fucking nightmare. Nothing fucking works. Now, that's boats. That never works. But at least back in the day, your video games worked, right? You go in for, let's say, okay, rich people. What do rich people do? Or just financially stable people do? Well, maybe they'd like to go out and eat. You know, that's one thing I really enjoy. It's one of the few luxuries, especially as a bachelor without children. I'm like, I did enjoy going out to eat. Not in necessarily fancy places, just the fact like, oh, I could get some relatively healthy food made for me with the convenience of not having to fucking worry about it. And it was served to me relatively good. And we're talking things like Chipotle, uh, quasi-healthy Qdoba. So and for a while it worked. Now you can't do it. Oh, our car, your card doesn't work. Do you have another card? And I know the other card. I know my card is not busted. So I got, okay, I'll try that. Oh, okay. Oh, our payment processing is down. Oh, we're out of that. We're out of ice cream at Sonic. You guys know the story. And I'm thinking like, my fucking God. Just to play your fucking video. And I got to imagine video games, especially for you guys. I got to imagine a lot of you ask a young man, where would you like to see yourself in 35 years? Like you're at the age of 35. Where would you like to be? Or you ask a 40-year-old, what would you like to do in retirement? I think the vast, like 95% of guys alive today would say, well, I, sleep in, maybe get my coffee. And you know what? Somewhere in there's going to be video games. And I like to just play video games and relax a little bit. Oh, get to the gym regularly. You can't. Your video games aren't going to be, even when you're there, like I've reached it. Hey, it's done. House is done. Done, done, done. It is. Fuck you, great one. He was giving me shit on one of his podcasts. I was like, and now it's like Summer vacation, right? You're finally let the fuck out of the goddamn prison with all the pissed off school marms. Or at least they're pissed off school moms. Today, they just sleep with their students. They're a bunch of raisinists. Teachers, you're such scum. You're excited and you're out and you run home and your fucking bike doesn't have wheels. You know, that's what it's really like, except on an adult level. Like, it's just a pain in the ass. And now you got to work 3 times as hard. So now I got to go back. Get to run my errands today when I go back to town. Drop that off. Oh, I got a nothing bad. Sometimes you need lawyers. And this isn't my estate planning lawyer. My estate planning lawyer is awesome. Fucking one of the rare people. Guy like, boop, 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 boop. Wait, that's it? You're not going to fuck it up? We're not going to wait around? I got a very minor thing, but I need a lawyer to work on it. A very minor legal thing. And I'm thinking it's a minor legal thing. Oh, I need this documentation. All right, here you go. Been 2 weeks. I can't. You remember when like law firm, lawyer, serious. Oh my God, professional. And I don't think it's the guy. I think it's the staff and the admin. So I'm going to get to go downtown and hey, remember, do you want to make money? What's going on, man? Hey, how you doing? No one does the fucking job. No one. And it's going to cut into the amount of fun you can have when you finish the hero's journey. Because what waits you at the end of the hero's journey in the United States today? Video games that don't fucking work. Video games, if they're modern, fucking suck. All right? You're going to have problems paying shit because payments is to be down. Oh my God, you don't know what's going on. You can't eat. You can't eat out. Oh, God. I've been sick. I'll get to the trophy wife thing later. Don't worry. I'll let you know what's happening. So I've been sick for about a week. And not bad sick, just I mean, I can function. I even went for pretty challenging hike in the thick of it. But just kind of like it's just you're like at 97%. Weakest cold I've ever had in my life, right? But still not like so I've been I'm gonna take it easy. All right. I'm gonna go easy on my body. I'm just gonna relax. Gonna relax. Gonna sleep in. Not going to the gym. Although I did go to the gym one time. Today I'm going to go to the gym because I just got to stretch a little bit. But I've been going easy. And then when I'm sick, I'll pamper myself, right? So we go to this restaurant over in Spafish. The GF drove me around. We got a deal. Don't worry, I'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Relax. So I always drive because I'm a man and we know how to drive. And it's safer that way. It is. Sorry. But the paradox is if I'm always driving around, I don't really get to see the scenery, right? Especially on a motorcycle, you got to pay the fuck attention. So the GF will every year say, well, I'll drive you through the Black Hills and you can relax. I'm like, okay. So I got to be driven through the Black Hills. We ended up going to Spafish, which is on the north side. Them look it up. And Spafish, they got that. If there's restaurants in the Black Hills, that's where they are. And so we go to this one restaurant that's got great fish tacos, which I'm kind of still philosophically kind of up in the air about. I don't know if fish and tacos go together. But they are great fish tacos. I've had them. So I figure the fish tacos are really good. So the rest of the food's got to be really good. And I got this beef with blueberry chipotle. I'm like, yeah, that's how fucking snooty I am. I'm having an aioli. I'm sorry, an aioli, a blueberry aioli on my fucking sandwich. Fuck you. That's the victory lap I'm doing. Getting chauffeured around the Black Hills. Gonna have blueberry aioli on my fucking beef sandwich. That's how snooty and Edina I am. And the GF gets the fish tacos because she knows what she's doing. And I get this sandwich, and it looks like a fucking brick that they just fucking toasted the ever-living daylight out of it. A piece of bread this thick, a piece of bread that thick. What the fuck? I bite into it. I cut the roof of my mouth. I'm like, fuck it. Taking off the side of just eat it. At that point, it was just food. And again, just trying to have fun, trying to just, come on, man. If I'm paying $15 for a sandwich, can you at least, like, this better be a really great sandwich? It's like, no, Taco Bell is better than this. It is. Taco Bell's I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm getting. It's just so hard to have fun, and you start getting to the point like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna go out there. I'm gonna stay in. I'm gonna stay here." So I'm trying to, like, pamper myself, right? I'm gonna have some carb, I'm gonna relax, get some good sleep, not gonna go to the gym. And even trying to have a sandwich, can't even cheat. Can't even have a good cheat day because it's that hard to have fun. And man, that's where you guys gonna look for like, you're going to have to play defense when having fun. How I'm about to go out there. How is out there gonna fuck me over? You're literally gonna have to do that. You could have I don't envy billionaires. I don't know what you do with your money. 75% of it is gonna be pissed away on people who don't do their fucking shit right. The helicopter don't work. Look what happened to Kobe Bryant. He was all excited and somebody fucked it up. Mistake economy right there. However, I think death by helicopter, that's a little bit more extreme than, oh, my Chipotle or my blueberry aioli beef sandwiches. Shit. But come on, man. And me, this is where the trophy wife story comes in. So let's go another story, right? Southern Command. My buddy is already down in Mexico. And wasn't even cold in Vegas. It's still 100 degrees in Vegas. He likes Mexico. And this is going to be what, the 8th or ninth year now? Coming up on 10 years, man, with having a Southern Command. By the way, I recommend you all have a wealthy friend who lets you stay at his place in Vegas for free as long as you just take care of it. If you could set that's what the one yeah, God bless. I mean, that was manna from heaven. I'll admit that. I'll admit that. So, but I still have obligations and responsibilities. And as I fine tuned the maintenance of the Southern Command, you don't want to wait until Christmas. You don't want to wait until late December, right? Oh, I'm going to stick around with the family. Going to do Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then you get there late December, early January because there's too much. God, how do I explain it? You think it's the desert, and that would be nice. Half my maintenance would go away if they did rock landscaping and had cactuses. No, the development this guy's in, you have to have a certain amount of foliage because of all the HOA Karens. So there's like trees and bushes, and there's a watering system, right? Half of it is trimming these fuckers back. Because if you let them go like 6, 7 months, oh my God, it's like a 1970s woman's bush. It's just like, oh Jesus, fuck, get the machete. No, it won't work. Get the chainsaw. Oh my God. Then also car batteries don't last that long. So I found it's very good to go in about December. So I got a little bit late. This as it went in early October. Went for a couple days. Got a jump on it. All right. They got cheap flights, Rapid City to Vegas, just 3 days. Get the fuck away from the woman. You want me to come with? No, stay the fuck here. It wasn't like that. She was already out of town. But you know what I'm saying. You want me to come with? The fuck I don't know. Stay here. Get get some shit done. All right. You just slow everything down by 33%. So I get down there, and I got a car. It's not his responsibility. Okay, get the trickle charger, push start things, get everything going down. Trim back the trees, which I'm glad I did. I in going in early, I cut about half the work away from it because it didn't turn into this monstrous 1970s housewife bush. It was tameable. It wasn't feral. And getting everything clean. Okay, fired up. I got my motorcycle down there. All right, all right. I even have a checklist, right? You think I make this all up? You think the maintenance? My life is difficult. Let me tell you, the life of a podcast is very difficult, horribly difficult. I tell you I had to cheat my snakeskin boots with snakeskin treatment? Sorry about this life I lead. I got some nice snakeskin boots down. The ones I got in Wyoming many years ago, they dried out. So I got new snakeskin boots, and you got to treat them with snakeskin. You got to rub that kind of treatment in. Very difficult life I lead. I had to cut trees and bushes and drive my car around, fire up the battery. It was difficult stuff. So I knew it was going to take forever, and I got buddies down south, right? I got one guy in Prescott, another guy who lives out in the middle of the desert, literally. And so these guys are hikers. I say, hey, you want to come on out to the Southern Command? You can crash here, and we'll go hiking. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So one guy's about my age. The other guy's this kid. He's Mr. Perfect. Fucking owns a house outright. He's 26 or 27 now. He bought the house for cash at 25, earned it all himself, did it right. And me and this other guy looking at this kid. It's the kid who batted 1,000. Like, he doesn't fuck up. We're like, did you do this screw up thing back in high school? No, I just avoided that. And we're like, fucking hell. Didn't you go to a nightclub at this? I went to one that was stupid. And I'm like, fucking hell. The kid doesn't fuck up. So he's half our age and he's already at our level. Like, yeah, let's go hiking. And he's younger, he's in better shape than us. So kid picks me up at the airport, get a free ride to Southern Command. We get in there. Our other buddy shows up literally 3 minutes after we get in there. Yeah, right. Every day, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If it was a woman, she'd show up 3 days like, oh, well, they went to hiking. It's amazing what unattached bachelors can achieve when they put their minds to it. So the kid has a real job, so he could only stay for like 2 days. So the next day we all go hiking. My one buddy drinks, so he's a little hungover. I'm still sick. Mr. Perfect is fucking up and down. If you go to my Instagram, you see the picture where basically we went like this. So you start in the desert floor, you kind of climb up and you get to a saddle, and then you more or less go straight up a kind of a crack to get to the top of kind of a mountain. And he's up there like a fucking monkey. And me and the old nine, we make it to the top. And then we get back down. And then the next day, the kid's got to go back home. And me and my buddy, I'm kind of still sick, not at 100%. He enjoys his booze, so he's not at 100%. And it was going to be hot, like 102, 105 in Vegas next couple of days. And he didn't have nowhere to be. And so we're kind of in that situation where not only do we not have the energy, but also we don't have the guilt, right? Or at least I don't have the guilt because I'm sick. Like, I already did the hike. I got to do some things around the house. That's more or less taken care of. I got most of it done on that first half day, right? And it's one of those rare instances, kind of like now, where I forget myself for having my snooty blueberry sandwich. I'm like, yeah, man, I don't want to push it. I already did a hike. I'm already doing the yard work and everything like that. Let's just take it easy. He's like, yeah, I agree. So he didn't have nowhere to be for about 2 days. And all we did was kill time in different areas of Vegas. Not gamblers. We didn't go to the strip or nothing, but we're just like, oh, well, what should we do? And it quickly became apparent. I mean, by 10 a.m., you get up, you have your coffee, you do whatever little minor stuff. I don't know, clean toilets, get shit going on, change the air filter, very minor stuff. And it's like, gee, brain, what do we do today? Like, yeah, what do we do? Too hot to go golfing, too hot to go hiking unless we went up into the Mount Charleston area. I'm too tired. And so what ended up happening is we lived the lives of trophy wives. We did. We're like, well, let's go to that cafe, right? They got good coffee. Let's sit there and chill out at the cafe. And we sat there, we're having coffee. And sure enough, you look and there's the trophy wives coming in and out. This is a fancy area. We went over on the west side called Summerlin. It's where the snooty fuckers live. And there's a really good cigar lounge out there. So we ended up kind of staying on the west side a fair amount. So we go to this coffee store, get our coffee, sitting there chilling out. And the idea, like if you got other people around, you have conversation, the venue almost don't matter, right? That's merely a format. Like cigar lounges are like that. The venue don't matter. You're just there chit-chatting. And we had each other's company. So we're chit-chatting, but then we kind of start looking around like, fuck, it's 10:30 in the morning. We're not going to fall asleep for another 12 hours. What do you do with this time? Normally, we'd fill it with hiking. We're taking time off from that. So then it became this chore like, well, what do you do? It's like, well, okay, let's go to the cigar lounge. They open at noon. Going to the fucking cigar lounge at noon. Here we are. What is it? You want a drink? Yeah. I'm driving. I don't drink anymore. Because why the fuck wouldn't you? And we're sitting there at the cigar lounge. And my buddy says, you know what? I mean, this is all right. But by the end of tomorrow, I don't know how people can do it. This would drive me nuts if this was my entire life. Like, can you imagine what these trophy wives do? And I realized, like, holy shit, this is what trophy wives do. Like, we accidentally, he had to be hungover. I had to be knocked out. I had to be sick for us to get to the point that we were compelled and forced to have this trophy, like 2 days as a trophy wife, 48 hours. And not even halfway through day one, we're already like, how the fuck do you do this bullshit? How can you handle this shit? And we had it without guilt. It's this whole fascinating world where I got to imagine. Now, no trophy wives listen to this. I don't know what trophy wives listen to. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if you have that much wealth. I guess a trophy wife has the only obligation to stay in shape, right? And maybe there are trophy wives out here. Or maybe just stay-at-home wives whose husbands happen to be very successful. How the fuck do you do it? How do you go from cafe to mimosa fest to shopping to all this stuff? And I also know through the grapevine a trophy wife where they're blowing about like $5,000 a month at one store. One fucking store. I won't say where, but I'm like, I would I don't think I need anything from that store over $5,000 a year. What are you doing going there every month? Every day, I guess. Buying shit you don't need. And just so you know, we're right, okay? We're us normal people who have the hero's journey, escape from poverty. We're the ones who are right. You trust fund baby, trophy wife gals, whatever it is, fucking desperate housewives of the East Coast, whatever the TV show is. I know it's all fake and all that. But going around shopping, killing time, you're all wrong. You need something to do. Because we could see it. We were in the realm of the trophy wives. And you'd see them. They go from shopping to the cafe and they sit there and they jibber jabber with their girlfriends. And I don't care how much money you got, but the value system, like what trophy wives do, what they find, like, this is the best use of my time. It's like, nope, it's all wrong. And I don't know how you could be happy or content doing that because it was fun. It was a nice little vacation into the realm, into the world of trophy wives. But we're not even halfway through day one. And we had already lounged around the house, right? Okay. Now, maybe trophy wives got to work out or said, though, obviously they do. That's the one obligation in life. I get it. Then we go to the fancy coffee store. Then we go to the cigar lounge. That maybe killed it to 1:30. And then you're sitting there, well, what else are we going to do? I don't know. And I'm even trying to remember what we did. Now that I think about it, Southern Command had a pool. We all jumped in that. That lasted half an hour. I am trying to remember what the hell we did. Then we went, what the hell did we do? We didn't shoot guns. It's a blur. Nothing memorable happened. We did one day try to make it out to Pahrump, right? And it's a weird thing, man. You're just waiting for the next mandatory thing you gotta do, which is eat and then sleep. You actually look forward to going to bed because you got nothing to do in the daytime. I remember we went out to Pahrump because I said, "Yeah, there's a steakhouse out there. Ah, hey, let's go out to Pahrump, sure." So we hop in the car, road trip. Okay, it's something to do. We're killing time. We get to what is the Golden Nugget, the Stockman's Steakhouse. This is not our fault. We're not slamming Stockman's or anything like that. Just have them look it up. We get in there, like, okay, we're hungry. I'm looking forward to the steak. It's something to do. It's stimulation for the brain. We're trophy wives today. Anything but raising our children or having a job or anything. It's a nightmare. As Chris Beckloff says, the only thing worse than having a job is not having a job. So now we got this little mission. We got this existential purpose now for the next hour and a half. And you get and we're like, does it seem like there's a lot of people here? We open up the door, it's closed. We look on the back side of the door, not open Sundays and Mondays. Like, oh, all right. What do we do now? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to figure out what the fuck it is to do for the next hour. And I got to imagine that's what trophy wives do. It's just, what did we do for the next hour? What do we do for the next hour? How do we fill the next hour? I could totally see where they're drinking wine all the time. Hubby's out working. They're not entertained by that. And then, husband comes home. Maybe they're actually happy when their husband comes home because there's someone to talk to. Like dogs are just like happy when you come home. And then maybe you go out for dinner with your husband. I don't know. Maybe that a lot makes women like really enjoy their husbands when they come home. Maybe the kids come back from school. They're excited to see the kids. I have no idea. But you're just killing time and killing time and killing time. In other words, you're like a pet with the driver's license. You could go anywhere you want, but nobody's around. Not in your family, anyone you really care about. And maybe that's why they meet in herds. Oh, I see. Like there was a group of trophy wives, like 3 or 4 or 5 of them sitting at a table. I can see that. Like, all right, well, what do we do? Well, we got to drive back to Vegas. That's for sure. And then my old school, when I used to teach dance in the evening and had to avoid rush hour traffic. Like, how do you leave your job at 5 and get across town to teach the dance classes at 6? There's strategy involved. I'm like, well, we can't make it back to the east side. Might as well stay on the west side. Back to Summerlin we go. And we the guy says, wait, there's a Ponchos here? We got to go to Ponchos. So we went to Ponchos twice, not the same day. We ended up going to Ponchos, which is great Mexican food, by the way. And there we are at Ponchos. We killed some time. All right, what do we do now? I'm trying to think, what the fuck did we do? Yeah, but really, I'm trying to imagine, what did we do? He left he left the next day. See, and that just shows like we had to have done more than just call. Oh, we did go to the cigar lounge each day. That was true. And that kills about an hour and a half of time. And I remember going to the cigar lounge and now they don't have hot chicks anymore. Oh my God. Fucking hell. I mean, give us something to fight for here, guys. Like, at least in Vegas, you could kind of expect the cigar lounges to have attractive women, right? Just a little bit. Look, we're plants. We need just a little bit of sunlight. Okay. We're not asking to be baked in the desert. So just a little bit of sunlight. Like, oh my God, what is this fucking thing you hired? Even the kid, he was excited about, oh, there's going to be hot chicks at the cigar. No, there wasn't. No, there's that idiot. Yeah, we're not going. I mean, we're not. It's like, yeah, we're not good. No. We need motivation to go. And I'm for the life of me trying to figure out what the hell we did. Because inevitably, yeah, day 2, he's like, yep, all right, cool, I'm out of here. He took off, went back home. And I went golfing. I could see it. See, now that's the other thing. Retired men. That's why I totally get the golfing now at a completely different level. Not that I didn't intuitively figure this out being remotely employed for so long. This is all coming to you, young men who are playing your cards right. You are all going to get to figure this out and face this. I mean, it's a better hurdle than not having food. I'll grant you that. But you'll get to the point like retired guys like, what the fuck do you do? Again, 9-day difference between men and women. Women actually can shop. Not all, of course, but they can do it, man. We saw it. They're at their shopping thing. They're carrying their bags. I don't know what it is about buying shit. I don't know where this shit goes. Like laws of physics, like that's cubical volume. The cubical volume of the shit you're buying has to go somewhere. Where does it go? I mean, I know you got this big ass McMansion. You buy way more shit than the cubic volume of the McMansion and the garage. Where does it go? Do you use it for like a year and then you just donate it or sell to a consignment shop? Where does it go? That's what I want to know. So yes, you do have to fill your time. But the trophy wife life is not fulfilling. It is not rewarding. It is all consumptive. It is all consuming. It's just materialism. The View, I understand The View now. They think that's fucking the McNeil Laughlin group. They think that's intellectual discourse. They think that's intelligent. That's what the highbrow. They think that's fucking NPR. Well, NPR is shit too. And then they go and they spend money and then they consume. I don't know. I'd be like, well, what about grandchildren? I got a certain point when you when we want to raise your children. Just me. But if I was a trophy wife and I had kids, I'd be like, no, I'll raise them. I'll teach them. I'll take them to the baseball practice or whatever it is. Yeah, I'll stay at home and take care of the kids. Like, I got to imagine it's more rewarding than day after day after day for decades, thousands of days, 3, 5, 6, 7,000 days. Going there, okay, I'm going to go to the coffee shop. Not to say you don't like your friends, but what are you going to talk about that you had talked about the previous week before? Going to go buy shit. I wish I could tell you the store this person went to. It's not like some luxurious thing. You're like, why the fuck are you going there? There's nothing wrong with it either. I'm just saying, like, what could you possibly buy? $5,000 a month worth of shit at that place. Just meandering, figuring out, looking for the next hit, looking for the next stimulation. Then you go out and what, you nightclub? I don't know what happens at night with like a 38-year-old trophy wife. What happened? I'd love to hear. I would love to hear what trophy wives, what you do. What do you do? What do you do? Don't you get sick of it? Doesn't it get tiring? Don't you look like, Bob, maybe I ought to go? Like, really, if you had the money and the wealth, okay, your kids are out there doing the thing, got to try, whatever. Really go back to college for a PhD and something you enjoy. Uh, like any kind of other human constructive, I'm going to go donate some time at the whatever, the Kiwanis. I don't see it. It's just, I'm going to look good while I shop in front of kind of no one else except for like the staff and the other trophy wives. Is it like a continuation of school, but with shopping and outdoors? Where you get to go around, but it's still kind of like a school. And then as the kids get out of school, you quote get out of school, and then you go home to do whatever it is rich people in Summerlin do. And they could do it for decades, I guess. Me and my buddy, we couldn't do it for 2 days. I can't even remember what we did. I'm for the life of me trying. What did we do to fill the time? I know it was Cigar Lounge. I know it was the coffee store. We did make it out to Pahrump. Did I just work on the house? Is that what I kind of did? Maybe. I know I did that. I did do a little bit of work. I did do some consulting. You could see the videos last week. Maybe just sat and chilled and he drank. Oh no, we went to Total Wine because my buddy doesn't have a Total Wine in his place. Yeah, okay, I remember. We did go. Yeah, I guess it was consumption. Went to Total Wine. Wow. Yeah, that's all it was. Just driving around, sitting and consuming. That's all it was. And eating. That's all it was. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I was gonna say something. Hang on. I had a little bit of notes. There's something else I was gonna talk about. Um, no, no, I did. I had it and went away. I It was just weird. I couldn't do it. Oh, that's what I was gonna say for you guys, and this is the difference with the guys. I think guys go into like golf. I'm not kidding. Golf is like the catch all where it's something to do. As a young person, you might look at golf and like, well, I don't see what the big deal is. I guess some people like golf. It's a fun sport unto it. I guarantee you the vast majority of golf is not because people enjoy the sport. They enjoy it, but it's not like, oh my God, I totally want to play at golf. It's like, nope, you get to hang out with guys, there's something constructive, and you get to do something. And then you too, you go into the golf court or club, the country club, right? That's the same thing. It's all an existential capture. It's all an existential system or network. You ain't working no more, or you're wealthy enough you could work part-time or whatever. And especially in today's, especially for you young guys out there, you're going to get remote. Some of you are going to be remote employed and you're going to be officially, God, geez, what do we do? It's going to be the golf course. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It sure the fuck is better than going around spending money that, quite frankly, could be donated to a good charity if such a thing exists, or you could help out the more unfortunate people within your family. It's certainly better than that. But that's it. You go on the hero's journey, you get financially stable, or maybe you get wealthy. And fuck, the best thing we've come up with is, well, I guess you sit at the golf course and chill out. I guess you go and golf. I guess after the golf, you sit at the country club, you have a couple canoppers, and then you go home and you repeat and repeat and repeat. And guys, it is so important that, like, okay, I got to get to the gym and get a regular workout in. I got to have some fucking thing to do. You can't just be golfing all day. Now, some people are perfectly fine with it. It's just some guys just like, yeah, I can golf for the rest of my life, and God bless them. But man, you mark my words, you get to this point. We're all going to get to the trophy wife point if we don't fuck shit up, right? We don't have kids we can't afford. We don't major in dumb shit. We spend less than we make. We don't commit crime and you don't get married. You're going to get to this point, and then you're going to be, zounds, brain, what do we do? And I don't think guys are going to slip into, oh, I'm going to go drive around with my rich wife's car and go hang out with my besties. I don't think we're going to be going that way, but you are going to have to face it. And man, I don't see a reason to stop working. I mean, maybe scale back, maybe, work remote or go into the office a little bit part time, but never, guys, do not give it up because it fucking sucks being a trophy wife. But for guys, anyway, I don't know how you girls probably, maybe you enjoy it. Maybe you're just having a grand old time. I don't see how you can do it, but maybe you do. But guys, you don't want to be in that situation. And you really sit and think about it. Like, here's what you need to do. I don't know if people ever take vacation off anymore. People are always stuck on their phones and all that shit, right? Doing a little bit of work. I'll do a little bit of work, even though I got the day off. Legit take a full week off. And don't travel nowhere, right? Don't have a purpose or reason. Like, oh, we got to get on the plane. We got to go fly here. We got to get our hotels in Milan. No, none of that. Just stay the fuck home. See if you could stay the fuck home for a full week and see what fucking happens, because that's what retirement's going to be like. That's what financial success is like. That's what financial stability is like. Because, unless you're stupendously wealthy and you could afford to travel all the time, all right, that's a different league. But for the vast majority of us, we're not going to be that level of wealthy, but we'll be financially stable, independently wealthy, but you're not going to be able to like fly F-16s. You're going to have to figure out what to do day to day. You can't rent Ferraris and go rent boats all the time. Get yourself a full week off where you just got to stay at home and maybe stay in your local neighborhood, right? On your budget, and see how you feel at the end of those 5 days off. You'd be fucking screaming to go back to work. I have some fucking thing to do. And you better plan for it too. This is why I see guys like joining the Masons or a club or anything else like that. Kind of what young men have to do in absent of a family. You're gonna have to find some kind of, but it's even more so when you get to this point. And so that was my experience as a trophy wife. trophy wife for 48 hours. I didn't have no rich wife. Where the fuck was that? Now, maybe if I had a hot wife with lots of money, okay, maybe that would be fun. I don't know. Maybe these trophy wives got some guy on the side. They go bang criminals. They're like, oh my God, he's so much more naughty than my studious CPA husband. I don't know, man. All right, let's go to the super chats. We got some more stuff going on. Dre, what's up, buddy? $2. EA doesn't let you play single player games offline. Yeah, that's another migration. See, the Far Cry 5 is an Ubisoft game, which Ubisoft, by the way, looks like it's going to go bankrupt or be bought out by the Chinese. I mean, and who would have thought the Chinese? Maybe we actually will get good video games this time. You never know. But yeah, the video game, well, and I'm not kidding. Video games would have taken some time, right? Video games would imagine some great video games you could play. It'd be awesome. I don't think video games are going to be feasible or enjoyable. No one's going to want to play video games going on into the future. And for kind of my generation, I'd say, millennials as well, when we get to retirement, I think really there's going to be a desert. The future of video games is going to be a desert for the next 10 years. And for those of us who are kind of on the cusp of retirement or semi-retirement, we have a fair amount of leisure in our life. Video games are not going to consume it. It's not going to fill our days. It's not like we thought it would. Now, I don't know about Zoomers and Generation Alpha. You guys are quite a ways away from retirement. But even in your leisure time that you have now on weekends, it's not going to be part of your life. It really isn't. It's not going to be part of retirement. It's not going to be part of your weekend. These games are just so bad and impossible to play. It took me 2 hours after updates and all this shit to play a game that wouldn't work. Now I got to go and return it. No. Hundreds of billions of dollars of profit awaits the person who gets his head out of his ass, or a girl, and says, we're making a console that fucking works. All games work on it all the time. Only the most minimum of updates, okay? We either do it right or we don't do it all. I think the only hope really will be Nintendo and the Nintendo Switch 2, because that thing barely updates. And guess what? I put the game in, it fucking works. I think that's going to be the only thing in the future. But now they're all moving, and they're not going to learn their lesson. The video game industry is not going to learn its lesson. It's impossible for them to learn their lesson. Everything's going to happen like Ubisoft. They're going to go bankrupt because they don't know any better. They want all online play where you got to buy every possible fucking thing. You have to pay to play because you got to play on the servers. It's a multiplayer online game where it's like World of Warcraft or Call of Duty. You're fighting each other online. There's not going to be an actual game for you to. That's why I bought Far Cry 5, because I want to play an actual game. And even then, you guys fucked up the programming. I can't play it. Fuck you. Done. There's golf to do. I'd rather go watch The View. I'd rather go sit at a table of soccer moms and trophy wives than fucking troubleshoot and be an IT expert at getting a PlayStation to play a game. I'm done. No. And you watch. Ubisoft is just the beginning. We haven't even talked about the politics they're introducing into games. We're just talking functionality. The consoles are over. People are going to be switching to PC because at least you can use that for something else. And they're not. No. They're not going to. Sure, whatever. Xbox 7. Sure, PlayStation 6. I'm sure they'll come up with it. But the only thing, the least amount of pain and agony is going to be Nintendo, because they actually have quality control. What about parents? Like your little kids is where the video games start, right? Parents are going to buy the kids the video game. Video games ain't going to work. And now the parents got to troubleshoot this shit? Fuck you. It doesn't work. And the parents like, no, we're not buying that. Or they'll talk to yeah, we bought this. And this thing, you got to get a login, username, password. And then we can't play the game because whatever the internet wasn't working at the time or their servers were down. They have made such a fucking complicated mess of it. And then we find out there's no actual game. You got to play online, and I got to watch my kids play online. Make sure there's no like influence or people cursing. You made it way too fucking complicated, and it don't work. And people are just going to walk away. I can't wait. Because what it is it's lazy and evil people creating the video games and the video game consoles right now. It's NBA dude bros. They're not creative. They're not creating good games. It's just the script. It's a formula. Get them online. Download content. Pay for download content. Maximize profits. It's just nope. And you don't maximize profits that way. You don't. That's not a viable business model. But that's all they know. And then like, oh my God, just outsource it in whole to Marxist, leftist, liberal, rabid white women and have them be the entire development team. And look what happened. Oh my God, look at this video game, Vagina Quest. Why aren't you playing Vagina Quest? I have no idea. Oh, it's it's those rat bastard video game. It's the toxic community of video game players. How dare they not want to play Vagina Quest? And its sequel, Black Vagina Quest. Wow. Oh. Yeah, it's a what you want to watch. You want to watch a great collapse. I'm saying on par in terms of the destruction to the industry, not in terms of total destruction to the economy. It's going to be on par with the housing crash. It's going to be that bad for the industry, not the economy. We can live without video games, sort of. Low T ain't me. 20 generous dollars. Congrats, you old fossil. Thank you. Thank you. Well, see, Low T, I bet you've owned a house before. And you've kind of been in this, like, where you finally, like, yeah, you get that final fucking nail. For me, it was the last spray. Give you another example. I don't make this up. You know, you got a deck, right? You got to treat the timbers so they don't rot. I had to spray them with seal. That was a process unto itself. Not the actual art of spraying it, finding a clear coat sealant that doesn't stain your house. I got one. It says, yeah, this is clear. And I'm looking as I'm pouring it out. I'm like, that don't look clear. And then I spray it on a piece of wood as a test. Like, no, I can see that. That's going to show up on the house. So I had to get rid of that. And then I got another one that's like, you know, I'm opening it up at Menards. I'm looking, oh, that actually is clear. By the way, kids, you should always open up the product at Menards or Lowe's or Home Depot to make sure it's exactly what you need to save yourself a trip. Went back there, sprayed it. And the last bit, because I ran out on my pumpy device, I was like, that was it. And it was the last piece of wood. I'm like, perfect, done. Like that was the finish line. Yeah, now I actually do have time to do a podcast. That's another thing. Like, hey, did you notice how long it's been since we did a podcast? Probably months. I barely even got to go hiking this year. The plane is $5. Everything today is managerial bureaucracy and passing the buck. Why sell a finished product that takes 5 years to develop when you can half-ass it? Right, and then just update it as you go along. I don't know how much I hold business schools responsible to teach business ethics. To me, it seems it's like you really need a 110 IQ saying, hey, wait a minute. If we do it for like shit, ain't that just going to create more work for us in the future? Your average MBA has an IQ of about 105. They're not that smart. And they really are just passing on the buck. No one knows, like, look, if we all did it right the first time, we'd have triple the standards of living that we do now. You say, oh, come on, no, I'm not kidding. We could that's on the low end. If we just did it right the first time, we'd have triple our standards of living. But using the video game industry is kind of like an example. There's a perfect example of no one doing their job, no one have any ethics, no one's thinking 2 or 3 steps down the road. Everything about short-term, quick turnaround, profit maximization, and not giving a flying fuck what it does 2 quarters out or how it destroys customer loyalty. I mean, I'm not buying a console next year. I'm not. I keep thinking like, oh, maybe this one will be slightly better. Or I really like that game. I'm going to get it. No. You just keep The American video game industry and the American economy in general, we can't trust even the leaders and quote the adults to do the right thing. I don't mean ethically or more. I mean in your long-term best interest to make a good product that works. We can't trust you to do that. There's always going to be fuckery. There's always going to be a strap on in your ass. Always. And now people are like, fuck, we're not dealing with this anymore. You can even see it on the streaming services. People aren't watching the new shit. They're watching Seinfeld. They're watching Sex in the City. They're watching Frasier because it was good. I mean, I'm not kidding. It gets so bad that I could see young people going back outside to play. Like, this is bullshit. I'm not playing this game. It doesn't even work. Nonstop Drake, $2. The great one said Cappy loves Blue Waffle and Big Mike. Hey, the great one. I finally got him. I got him. The house is done. Oh, yeah, we got to do that, don't we? Yeah, we got to do that. He made fun, and rightly so, because I thought I was done multiple times, and then something outside of my control would happen. And now it really it is because I'm in a better mood. I'm looking at my to-do list. I'm like, oh my God, I can get to the fun shit. Mentally speaking, I'm even starting to get like more energy, like, oh, yeah, I could sit and rest a little bit, which is what I've been doing the past week. Not running around, not oh, we got this, we gotta run around that like fucking Scrat. Been like Scrat for the past 4 years. Now I just like chill. And I'd say if it keeps going like this, I might have the energy to make another attempt at traveling overseas. I mean, be doing it a little bit more intelligently. I'm like 2 days in each spot. I ain't spending no week here and week there. The plane at $5. We can't have fun anymore because the value of the average person has plummeted over the past 50 years. Right. Exactly. It's not only bad leadership and management, the average person is shit. You can't get a good sandwich. You can't get good service. Half the time, I'm surprised the gas pumps work. Like, that's what I'm really concerned about. And it forces you to say, okay, I'm not going out there. Out there is bad. I want to see what, is the electricity going to be on? Will gas be pumped? And then I'll figure out shit on my own. My other buddy who drinks a lot, and I don't disagree with him. I was telling, like, we were going out and the steakhouse is closed, and there's no hot chicks. It's not like you're going, there's no hot chicks at the cigar lounge. Like, just there's nothing. Like, not to say it was perfect either. There was no point in human time where you went out there and you got 100% rate of return for every calorie of energy or dollar you spent. It was worth it. That's never happened. No system is 100% efficient, but it's gone down to like 20%. And it got to the point where my buddy, he's a unique person. He likes having his house. He lives alone. No one lives with him. And we're talking about how we're getting older and older. I told him the story about my great uncle. My great uncle lived in a small town far southwest Minnesota. Have them look it up. And his town was not big at all. The house he had was right where the prairie started. There was no houses to his west. The town was to his east. Wasn't that big of a town. I think it was 4 blocks off of Main Street. 4 more blocks of houses that way to the east. The town was maybe half a mile north-south. A gas station and 3 bars. And I felt bad for my great uncle because he had outlived all of his friends and most of his family. And he just lived in this far-flung town in southwest Minnesota. And I was the closest, so I kind of visit him every once in a while, especially on the way out to South Dakota. And he was just, yeah, uh-huh, yeah. And I'm like, God, I hope he's all right. This. And all he did was wake up, probably go run some errands, get groceries and all that. And then he'd go to the bar and get drunk. And then he'd go home and go to sleep. And my buddy's like, oh, it's heaven. And I'm looking back at it, I'm like, "Son of a bitch. Did my great uncle figure it out? Was he actually happy?" Because I was younger at the time. I didn't know. I'm like, "Don't you wanna meet people? You wanna" and now I'm like, "Man, everyone is such a fucking pain in the ass." By the time I'm his age, in another 30 years, when I'm almost 80, I'm thinking like, "Man, that wouldn't be a bad life." Like, okay, I got my little house on the prairie, right? I'm left the fuck alone. And I just go to the bar and I get drunk and then I go back home and he read books. Like, boy, that really is starting to sound more and more appealing. It really is starting to find it. And why? Yeah, the quality, especially now, the quality and caliber of people are shit. You can't go to Sonic and say, "Well, we know they're gonna have ice cream." I really, it's exhausting. It's maddening. There's a piece of me, I got this dream. Again, I can't drink. Me and alcohol get along too well. But man, I got this dream where I just hop on my motorcycle and ride. No maps. No maps. I just go. And I go into this town, I go into that town. And if there's like a little VFW or an American Legion or, the local bar, I just sit there and I have a drink. And then I get back on my motorcycle and I go off to the next small little town and just keep driving. What the fuck is going on here? Why is it doing that? And that's it. Could be gone for months. Find a town, stay there, kind of, clean up, get a shower or whatever. Oh, this seems like an interesting town. Maybe I'll spend a day or two here. And then just move on to the next town. Just get a rumplements at every little fucking no-name bar. I hope I couldn't do it because I've traveled the country too much, but I don't even know where I am, Wouldn't it be nice to, like, I don't know where I am. I think we crossed into Idaho. I have no clue. And no, I'm not playing video games. I'm not going out there anymore. I'm not going to the cigar lounge where there's ugly women or dudes. I'm not going to the steakhouse that's closed. Drew, $5. What are your thoughts on West Virginia as a retirement option? I like West Virginia. The time I drove through it, I liked it. Now, it is who dang diggly. All right. You better be able to fix your own shit. And like, I'm not kidding. Have a tank of gas, like a spare tank of gas. If you got to drive to Virginia or DC or someplace to where gas pumps work. I like West Virginia's very now I was driving through it in fall about this time 10 years ago. Very pretty. I liked it. I liked it. But I don't know if I'd befriend everyone there, you know? But think about what you did with South Dakota and has cheap land and houses, just a poor state. Yeah. I mean, if you got retirement income coming in, if you don't have to work the mines like they did back in the past, yeah, why not? I'd look out for the meth heads. I have a feeling there'd be a little bit of Wyoming out there. Bunch of drunk opioid crisis meth kind of deal. It wasn't West Virginia, it was Kentucky, but I went to the town where the original Kentucky Fried Chicken is, and I looked around, I saw the people, I'm like, "Nope. Nope, the fuck out of here. These people are who dang. They're not gonna do their job. I don't know if the gas pump is gonna work." And I did. I took my motorcycle. You could see the gas pumps where the lights were on and weren't on. I'm like, "Yep, this is not a place to be. This is not a place to break down." Got my gas and got the hell out. Is Aaron my truth, the king? Is Aaron bragging about power walking trophy status? No. No. I'm just saying I walked amongst the trophy wives and I did not enjoy my walk. Hang on. This is fucking driving me nuts. I swear to fucking Christ. I swear to fucking Christ. Let's fucking do this. Is this gonna work? Better. Okay. No. Dre, $2. Women are now admitting that marriage is sex work. Well, yeah, it's for the most part, it always has been, Dre. Go read Why Women Deserve Less by Myron Gaines because I helped edit the book, did some of the numbers there. Go get A World Without Men. Go get the Book of Numbers. All the data, sociological, biological, evolutionary, financial, action, dating, all the data points to the fact that women never liked men that much to begin with. They don't hate men, most of them anyway. Most women were having sex with men they really didn't like. They were married to men they didn't like just to stay alive. Which, if you have intellectual honesty, say, boy, that's a horrible life for women. This is why that women's liberation thing is real. They really believe that, well, and in a way, they're not wrong. And from that angle, they're not. They were beholden to men. I wouldn't say outright enslaved, but they needed men to survive. Now they don't. And you're seeing that the percentage of women that enjoy their husband and enjoy having sex with their husband is, I bet you, if we were to poll it, I haven't seen data about it, using other ancillary adjacent data, I would say less than 1 in even 20%, I think, is too high. I think about 15% of women who are married enjoy sex with their husbands. The vast majority do not. Maybe they don't hate it, but they don't look, they're like, not like, oh my God, I want to get on him. They're not. They view it is sex work. That's what it's always been. I don't care what the marriage and the vows and the establishment and the ceremony. How did the money go? It went from the guy to the girl. What did the girl do? They gave the guy sex and children. Sorry, it looks pretty prostitutional to me. I don't care how much you gussied it up, called it marriage, gave it the approval of whichever god you worship. At the end of the day, I'm like, he's paying for sex. It's what it is. If you're lucky, love came along. And ladies, if you're lucky, you like the guy too. But now it's we are just going to reality. You're going to the real level of interest women have in men. That's why I just wish men would realize that and stop lamenting. Stop howling at the moon. Oh, girls don't like me anymore. Oh, what's wrong with them? Nothing. I don't think anything is wrong with them. I think they're just being honest now because they can be. They're just not that interested, and that the choice is upon you. What are you gonna do? What, fucking force them? That sounds even worse. I don't want that responsibility. Look, women like you guys. At the end of the day, if women like you guys that much, you'd be having sex. Women like that, you'd be going on dates. They'd be asking you out. They don't. They're telling you something. You all just got to listen to it. And you have to accept it and move on. Because I don't know about you, but my life is way too fucking short to be I already did that in my teens and 20s. Already tried the negotiation phase. Already tried, like, come on. What's wrong? All right. And doing a favor for, like, really leave them the fuck alone. Wait for them to flirt with you. Okay, you could be like Troy France. You see a cute girl come up with something charming and cute. Absolutely. I'm not saying just wait. But once you get your answer, just really, yeah, I don't like you. You can't, like, it's like forcing someone to eat Brussels sprouts. It's not okay. It's not forcing someone to eat Brussels sprouts. It's forcing someone to like Brussels sprouts when they don't like Brussels sprouts. They don't like you that much. Move on with your life. Shark Taws, 20 generous dollars. Take up drawing, Cappy. It's my meditation time. Interesting. Get a nice sketchbook, turn on a podcast, and just draw stuff. I do the hiking. I just listen to my podcast and I go hiking. I really enjoy that. Doesn't have to be fancy or good. Just let the mind wander, or make music using GarageBand like I also do. I'd rather listen to your podcast or your channel with the music in the background, you talking about sharks, than draw. I really can't sit. I fucking did that enough in school. I'm never going to read books unless I absolutely have to, and I ain't going to sit unless I absolutely have to. There's no way I'm going back. Yeah, hiking is my meditation time. Dry Raven, $2. Trophy wives blowing 5K a month, and the UPS driver. Again, not a Democrat, not a socialist, but Jesus fucking Christ. No, you don't need those goddamn shoes. There's like this hardworking kid that could use the money for food or rent as he goes to trade school, you know? The plaintiff, $10. When I become wealthy, I occupied my time with physical hobbies, gardening, gym, kayaking, fishing, sailing. A lot of people just sit around and rot when they get the money. Yep. Yep. And if I'm looking at all those are all kind of soul, like you can have other people do that with you, but you don't have to have a person. It's not like dancing or playing soccer. Those are all things you do on your own. And you're going to have to because so few people are going to be willing to go out and have life. Dre, $2. Thanks to feminism, single men could afford retirement. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of young guys, despite even tax rates, they're going to be able like, no, I can afford retirement. You're going to see, and what I'm curious about, rise of the she economy, all these girls going to become professionals. Are you girls going to save enough money? Or is it going to be really what's going to happen to the millennial generation of women? Where, okay, you didn't get married, you don't need no man. Fine. Are you saving your money? Are you throwing into a 401k or 403b? Will you, because you live longer than us. We have the benefit of dying earlier, so we don't have to save as much up. Are you girls going to save up as much money? Or is it going to be, oh, I'm looking for a man? Fucking 73-year-old lady looking for a man. Drew, $2. Did you see the Verizon outage? Mistake economy. No, I'm sure I'll find out. My day is to make it back up north to Rapid City, return my video game, maybe get another one. I don't know. Then I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do a light workout, make sure my muscles don't atrophy. I think I'm going to go for a hike because it's not 100 fucking degrees here for a change. I'm going to listen to some fucking podcasts. Oh, I got to talk to the lawyer. Got to go talk to the lawyer if they're around. And then, I don't know if you could see it, but I got one kind of last project to do, and that is to get all my digital stuff consolidated and organized. And I think that's about it. That's, but that project I'm going to kick off till later. But yeah, then I'm going to play video games. I might have a cigar on my deck. And I'm just going to go to bed at, I think, 9 p.m. I think that's what I'm going to do. Dre, $2. Check your DMs. I sent you something cool. Okay, I'll get to that later. Dre, $2. Cappy's dream threesome is him. Oprah and Pink. Oh God, Jesus, no. Who would my threesome be? Denise Richards, Young. Okay, this will all be Young. And Anne Margaret, Young. That would be, there you go. Christoph Anon, $5. Far Cry 5. The only way to win is to refuse to do the first fight and end the game. All other choices end in a loss. I didn't even get to making a choice. It just doesn't work. It doesn't. I couldn't imagine. What if you spent what full price for that game? $60 when it first came out and it doesn't work? Dre, $2, but Cappy service and people are great overseas. Yeah, I will have to go overseas. Smooth Band at $5. Long-lasting quality goods is better strategy than constantly recycling short lifetime junk goals. Yep. And Atham for $2 super sticker. I'm sure it's Mexican hoops. Thank you very much. What do we have? I have. Oh yeah, let me go here. From Erica Shanta Williams, you can find her at Erica's Classy Climb. Business Insider. A Gen Xer with a master's degree hasn't found work in 9 years. He says he's landed only 4 interviews. So, Business Insider is bullshit. This is a bullshit title. All right. Come on, computer. Just fucking do what I ask. God almighty. I can't take this seriously. And Business Insider at one time was kind of like a okay, mediocre business publication. Now it's just clickbait shit. So you found the one Gen Xer with a master's degree who couldn't find work in 9 years. OMG, shocking. Chris Putro, 55, has been struggling to find a job for the past 9 years. He has a master's degree over a decade of experience, but says that hasn't helped him get interviews. He says he's on track to run out of savings in a few years. I'm surprised it lasted that long. 2013, he got fired from a financial analyst job at a tech company. More than a decade later, he's still looking for work. Despite having a bachelor's and master's degree in chemistry, this is why you go chemical engineering, not general chemistry, and sending out countless applications, Putro said he had little luck in the job market. Like after year 2, don't you think maybe you go become an accountant or something? Or maybe go get a PhD and start teaching? I mean, he's got a master's he could teach. I've gotten a total of 4 phone interviews. The 55-year-old who lives in Los Angeles told, "Oh, you're not California, huh? Oh, interesting. Sure that has nothing to do with it." 3 of these employers ended up ghosting him, while the other one ended the interview call early after deciding he was overqualified for the job. When Putro lost his job, he was in his 16th year working for the same employer. After taking stock of his finances, he estimated that he had enough savings to get by for a little more than a decade if necessary. I made enough in those 16 years to survive another 11 based on, yeah, but you haven't found a job in 9 years. This is why I call bullshit on it. Dude, I'd get bored enough. I'd go join Alex Patino and become a truck driving, not Latino agent in the field. I don't know. I don't mind doing landscaping actually. I go mow people's yard. You know how much money you can just do landscaping and groundskeeping right now? If you show up on time and do it right. I taught myself how to do the irrigation systems. Not that hard. You know what you could charge for that if you show up on time? Based on his initial forecast, he would have ran out of money sometime this year, but Putro said the stock market investments had performed better than he expected, which could buy him a few more years of laziness. Oh, I'm sorry. Says that having no student debt or children had been helpful financially. Look at that. You can last 10 years if you have no children and student debt. His only other source of income over the past decade had been 50 a week for producing a stand-up comedy show in the Los Angeles area. Okay, so you don't want to work. Volunteer works, keep busy, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Job openings per unemployed person. And it's going back down. I don't trust they're citing some employment data and unemployment data. I don't trust those figures anymore. Obviously. It's kind of like, they keep saying there's a job shortage. Well, if there was a job shortage, you wouldn't be getting stood up or ghosted and you'd be getting job offers now, wouldn't you? If women like men, they would be going on dates with you and saying and asking you out on dates, right? If they liked you. At the end of the day, I don't care what data and statistics. This is one thing I learned with economics. At the end of the day, I don't care what data and statistics tell you. If it doesn't jive with reality, the data is wrong. I mean, never distrust your eyes. Yeah, okay. Your local area might be unique compared to what the rest of the nation is going through, right? The particular factory closes. Yeah, the rest of the country could be doing great, but your town is doing really bad. So you should have the intelligence to recognize that. But generally, look around. Does it look like shit? Okay, then it is shit. And I don't care what the media says. I don't care what the government says. I mean, look at the extent. You want to see just how journalism and media just is. You can't trust it anymore. It is a pejorative. Look at all the media that comes out to say, "Oh yeah, everything Disney comes out with is great." I know I keep focusing on Disney and video games and all. I don't know what else you're going to focus on in terms of fun, but go read the articles these people write. Nothing's bad. It's all amazing. Everything is platinum that comes out of the creative industry nowadays. There's no like actual critique or like, well, this wasn't that good. No, it's all unicorn farts and puppies. Let's go through some fan mail or some regular or hate mail. Dre, you sent this here to me. Oh no, that's just an email you sent to me. What, in May of this year? Is this one? Oh, here. This is from Aaron, another guy called Aaron from CD Life. 2 ejected, 1 dead when semi-truck driver tried to beat train, Nebraska sheriff says. 1 person is dead and another was injured following a train versus semi-truck collision in Dundee County, Nebraska on Tuesday. Preliminary investigation shows the semi was attempting to cross the tracks ahead of the BNSF train's arrival to that crossing, DCSO said. The occupants of the semi-truck were ejected. Both were transported to a hospital for treatment. The passenger in the semi-truck later died from his injuries. Neither the driver or the passenger semi-truck were identified, but police say they were both Wyoming residents. Who dang diggly do. Our prayers go out to the family of those involved. The sheriff said the crash investigation is ongoing. There you go. I You're gonna outrun a train with a semi-truck? Only Wyoming people would figure that one out. You know what, Jessup? Let's get my dick out of my sister. I'm gonna race this train with my semi-truck. Hey, did the truck have truck nuts? Were you listening to some Chris Ledoux? I hope. Oh God, please tell me it was a true Wyoming death. Oh, okay. So I can delete that email. uh, this is from Mike, August 1st. That's how long ago it was. We were talking about AI. I've been evaluating model languages and AI for almost a decade. It's all smoke and mirrors. Was part of the mass layoff this spring. Since then, over half the companies that approach me are AI companies. All I have to ask them is, what is your business model? Where are your profits coming from? They all immediately stop talking to me. This is all I need to know. This was kind of back. That AI fad has kind of gone away, right? Let me ask the NBA dude bros, okay? Uh, Is AI done now? Are you done parroting the AI, bro? Bro. Like that was so Q2, bro. What happened to AI mode? What about AI? AI. So that went away now, didn't it? You mean AI wasn't going to bring in? And that's what I was trying to figure out. I'm not a computer scientist, but I got logic. It seems to me all it is a really powerful search engine, right? That's all it was. It wasn't search engine technology also AI of a certain sort? I don't even necessarily call it intelligence, right? It's not like it's programming itself. You're still telling it what to do, right? The parameters you gave it, and it's just all logic. It's just a really powerful search engine. And tell me if I'm wrong. The only thing I could tell that AI has done is help me make thumbnails for YouTube a little bit better. Like if I can't find a copyright free image, I could just go to AI and have it generate an image. And I gotta do like 5 or 6 times, and then I'll get one that's kind of okay. I'm like, it's good enough for the girls we date. Where was, I thought AI was gonna take off our gerbs. They were gonna wait. Accounting hasn't been taken over by AI yet. I thought Chad Elkins was be sitting there sucking dicks at truck stops because he couldn't find no more accounting work. What happened? Thank you, Mike. Uh, what is this? Per my request. Oh, this was okay. So this is a while ago. This is August again. And per my request, I was talking about why insurance companies, because I've always bought salvage cars. So I've had very good luck with salvage cars. And there was something along, I think someone was in the super chats and they're saying how a car gets damaged in an accident and the insurance companies won't send the damaged car to get repaired. I found that odd, even if it was like, well, what if it was totaled out? Like, is it just too damaged to repair? Like, nope. Regular, like, I don't know, the wheel broke. Okay, it's repairable. It could get back to normal. And so I said, why are they not sending it is? He says, hey, you could call me Marshall. What info would you like to know? Some of this stuff will blow your mind. And I say, tell me why insurance companies aren't sending damaged cars to be repaired. He's not even sure to begin with where to begin with this one. So the shop I'm at, many others, have been bought by holding companies and private equity firms. Bro! These entities have brought on DEI hires. Like, look at this. This isn't even publicly traded firms. You got Bob's Auto Shop or whatever, some private equity group headed up by a bunch of needle dick douchebag MBA bros come in and all that. What I say? They only got like 5 tools in their belt: ESG, DEI, subscriptions, all right, bro. Cut quality and costs at the expense of long-term clientele loyalty. And here they are. Why? Why is Bob's Auto Shop got to have a fucking DEI hire in there? These entities have brought on DEI hires, women and Africans who don't know what they are doing. You guys still hear me? Checky check. Know what they're doing, nor the liability involved. As a result, many vehicles are not getting repaired properly, and quite a few lawsuits have drained money from these shops. Look, it's one thing if you want to buy ownership in a company, let them run their fucking business. You're going to take them over to run them into the ground and tell them what to do? I'm sorry, NBA dude bros, you don't know shit. You don't have real jobs. You don't know what you're doing. And you're going to tell mechanics what to do? The insurance companies have had enough 3 years ago, and any heavy hits were being totaled on principle alone. You see, it's the mistake economy. They can't trust you mechanics to do your job right now. Not you, Marshall. I'm just saying they can't. I mean, I've had mechanics, by the way, not female or African, cousin fucker Joes, leaving pieces of wood in my engine bay, not putting the right seals in. And you just, again, I could see where insurance look, if you're not going to repair the car, why would insurance companies go to you? Now you fast forward to 2024 with the amount of floods, twisters, hurricanes combined with auto accidents have drained so much money that State Farm and Allstate are looking to shut down, sell off entire sections of themselves. I'm in a state, and due to the lack of money, even Geico is 1 million auto claims backed up in this state alone. Oh my God. That's another thing. Look, just don't get new cars, man. There's no reason to get new cars. Go find an old piece of shit. So if you torch it or you break it beyond normal repair, you're not like, "Oh my God. Here's some money, go buy another car." No. No. Um, this is from Eugene. Eugene writes, "The best example of your point about MBA, and I have one, but I got it for free, and it did get me into tech consulting. Mint Mobile, it's hilarious that Ryan Reynolds, an actor, came in and ran a cell phone business than all the dumbass MBAs with 30 years experience." Right. And I mean, I like Ryan Reynolds as an actor, but premium wireless for $15 a month. The guy has simple intelligence. Premium wireless for $15 a month, premium wireless for $15 a month. And I guarantee you comes up with these commercials on the fly because he doesn't have a fucking MBA. And I would love to go with Mint Mobile because I don't like spending $80 a month, but Mint Mobile isn't out here in the rural parts of South Dakota. It's and then also out where I am in Henderson, there's not, for whatever reason, there's a big old dead zone. I would love to go back to T-Mobile. I would love to go back, although Lord knows now it's probably a shit company. But yeah, it's not that hard. Price and quality. Does anyone have Mint Mobile? I'm kind of curious. Erica, I'll do that one later. Erica Shanta Williams again sent me a video of men crying on TikTok for attention. I know that it's pretty cringe when you see the shit what the girls do on TikTok. She sent me this video of full-grown adult men crying, being held in bathing water. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What? Why? It was cringy. This is from MD. This is also August. Oh, yeah. Burners eat big losses in desperate race to sell unwanted Burning Man tickets. Bro, pot bro. What happened? Did you corporatize it too much? When Graham Chapman saw the bargain bin prices that Burning Man tickets were reselling for online, his stomach dropped. His partner could no longer make it, so Chapman needed to sell his extra pass. Typically, this wouldn't be a problem so close to the annual desert gathering. For years, demand for Burning Man tickets has outpaced supply. Yeah, except now it's not cool anymore. So Chapman, an experienced burner who lives in San Francisco, wasn't worried about selling at once face value roughly $650 plus fees. But this isn't a typical year. Burning Man still hasn't sold out online. The organization hawked tickets in person for the first time in 2011, and Facebook is flooded with people desperately trying to offload extra passes. Chapman quickly realized that he would almost certainly lose money. It sucks because I don't have that disposable income. Wait. It sucks because I don't have that disposable income to spare. You don't have 670 bucks? Why are you buying your ticket? If you can't afford 670 bucks, why are you buying a ticket for yourself? Dude, bro. But I was told that Burning Man is so I thought you burners were so fucking better than the rest of you. You're so much more intelligent. You understand spirituality, man. Dude. Like I can't afford that on my disposable income. What do you mean? How much does this cost? No, I need this, man. You're not smart and wise like me, dude. Hairy armpit women are the best, man. I hope you young people start to realize just how much the adults don't know shit. Like, if there was ever a time to heed the boomer saying, don't trust anyone over 30, now is the time. Okay? Back then, it wasn't the time. Back then, the people over 30 had fought off communism, fought off the Nazis, advanced fucking shit, got us to the moon, started creating computers. Yeah, don't trust those guys. Yeah, they don't know nothing. Now is the time. Who's over 30? 40-year-old Karens, washed up NBA 35-year-old dude bros, burners, adult Democrats shitting in the street at every major blue town. Your teachers, your professors. Yeah, man. Like, follow your heart and the money will follow. That's 280 bucks for my textbook. And you can't use the previous edition, man, because so much fucking shit has changed in women's studies, dude. Uh, for most years, people are scorned for trying to sell their tickets for a profit, as it's seen as a betrayal of the event's principles. Fuck you. But that philosophy hasn't translated in reverse. Chapman felt insulted by someone describing themselves as a longtime burner offering to buy his ticket for 300. It's dude, like you're getting insulted because your ticket doesn't sell as much. These are the people you get to be. Yeah, these are the cool kids. It's literally ticket gouging just for the buyer's end, he said. I just got the offer. I was like, ew, this is gross and skeezy and opportunistic. When another person proposed 200, Chapman seethed with anger, responding that deep commodification goes both ways. Who is this guy? If I looked him up, do I need to someone look him up? Graham Chapman. I'm sure he's a contributing member to society. Some posts on Facebook asking to buy tickets for 300 or less have been greeted with open disdain. Disgusting, wrote one woman, or snark. People being outraged that capitalism is real at Burning Man is actually hilarious, wrote another. Regardless, the reality is that, well, why? Why Burning Man tickets are always a shit show, left holding the bag. I'm just trying to find out why people aren't selling, or why is something better than nothing. Bay Area, lose money, optimism, fretting. The article isn't telling me why Burning Man failed. Let's go to a different one. Here's why. Okay, CBS knows. Burning Man allure appears to be fading with festival goers as tickets still available. Bad weather at the desert event during the past 2 years appeared to be slowing Burning Man. Okay, of course, CBS has got to throw a bunch of videos up. Be slowing Burning Man ticket sales for this year's festival. After Burning Man attendees endured extreme heat in 2022, followed by heavy rain and muddy conditions in 2023, many would-be burners, as festival attendees are called, are staying home this year. Economic factors may be at play too, given tickets for the Black Rock City, Nevada event sell for $5.75 a pop, and some customers may be cutting back spending after years of elevated inflation. But free money, man! Free money, man! Who gave you the free money? Oh, it was Trump that gave you the free money. Yeah, but he's like a white male patriarchal capitalist, man. Oh, no. What is Coachella? Coachella, uh, sales down? I'm not, like, trying to search for something. Slowest ticket sales in a decade. Okay, so this is April 2024. Things picked up, but according to Bill, only 80% of the 250,000 tickets available sold out, which is 14 to 7% down last year. I think Gen Z is just growing up. I don't mean in a mature sense. I think they're starting to become a higher and higher percentage of the population. Concert sales, ticket sales are down. I know they've been having to cancel a lot of concerts. Coachella is a concert thing, pretentious dipshit one. I think Zoomers are just, they're fucking sick of it. What money do they got? You got, look, criticize them for how they were raised and the dumb choices they might have made. And yeah, they still suck the Democrat dick, just like the millennials did. But at the same time, they got to have a reason to get up and out of. They don't have fucking video games anymore. There's no good looking chicks. I wonder, just me, I wonder if hot chicks came back, if we'd go to concerts a little bit more. I wonder if there were hot chicks at the cigar lounge, people would attend the cigar lounges more. I'm just wondering. Just wondering. Or maybe they just look at it and saying, this is stupid. Is Gen Z the generation that's going to realize that the adults haven't, since the boomers haven't known what the fuck they're doing this entire time? And maybe saying, yeah, I ain't going to college. No, I'm not going to a nightclub. No, I'm not going to the middle of the desert with a bunch of pot smoking, hairy vag pussies. No, not going there. No, I'm not going. No, I'm not going where the hairy armpitted women are. Now, unfortunately, they're still doing, but I'm going to be edgy and get a tattoo, man. I implore Generation Alpha, please just be the first generation to say, fuck you, we're not going to be fat. And no, we're not getting tattoos. Okay, I'll just settle for you not getting tattoos. Okay? Can you just be the first generation who actually is edgy and tells the previous generations to fuck off with their dumb shit? I'm not asking you to all become card carrying Republican ward cleaver types. I'm not asking you to all end up having to be like the Andy Griffith show, even though deep down inside, that's what everybody wants. All right. I'm not asking you to stay in shape, even though it's what's in your best health interest and it would probably lead to some great sex and long lasting families and relationships and love and would actually turn the country. I'm not asking you that. I'm just asking you, can you not get fucking tattoos? Can you just do that? All right, I can delete that one. By the way, when I go through fan mail, it's just to clear it out. Um, ba, 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 ba. This comes from John. Hi there, and I totally forgot to reply to this email. I was looking back over my start email list. I actually have now been able to read your book, uh, the Book of Numbers, Analyzing the ROI in the Pursuit of Women. That book hits the spot. I haven't experienced those disaster consequences of chasing women personally. I can definitely relate to how it is. I'm happy being a single man with no kids. Well, I also think that as the younger generations go on, more and more men are not asking girls out the younger you get. I mean, that much is true. So they're not going through the rejection or the successes or the disastrous consequences that often come from the temporary successes. And so they're not taking as much mental or psychological or emotional or spiritual damage. They're not having the successes, but they're not going like, whoa, yeah, okay. You didn't get divorced, but you didn't have a wedding day either, which I don't know if guys really give a shit about. But yeah, there's less men going to the front lines of that war. You did a video, I think, around last Christmas about the how to get my life together. I was the biology person who was seeking answers. I have my final job interview at a biomedical laboratory on Monday, and we'll get my hiring decision then. Management told me that my resume and things look good, however, so the odds are high that I'll be higher. Pays a living wage, one of the best paying jobs I've ever been introduced with. Again, not to ramble. I just want to thank you, Cappy. Your YouTube channel has in many ways changed my life. I really mean that too. It's not common to find someone who will actually say what they mean and actually makes good points. I tried doing, look, I am only here because I exhausted all my other options trying to do it the right way. And my existence for the past 10 years has been doing this to predominantly boomer cultures, but the powers that be saying, "No, fuck you, you're all lying. You're all lying." And then it happened to be about the right time with all these other type of red pill, and I mean on other things, not just dating, but finance, education, how the powers that be were lying to all you kids, and everyone had kind of the same exact experience. It's just they weren't in a position to say, I had nothing to lose. I had nothing to lose. Someday I'll tell you about the day I hopped the train on the way out to Glacier National Park, where I said, "Fuck it, I'm done." And I'm just sick and tired of the bullshit. Not like I took some brave stance. I had nothing to lose. I had enough of this shit. I realized I was lied to my entire life, and now fuck all of you. I'm pointing it out. Like when I started pointing out how bad teachers were and how evil they were, people, oh my God, because oh my God, you couldn't work teachers and firefighters and firefighters are still good people. But now people slowly around, yeah, you're right. They did steal all of our youth and give us jack shit in return. Yeah, you're right. They are kind of a bunch of bitches and assholes. Oh, yeah. Like, yeah. And just people, you can't run on lies. An economy can't run on lies. You'll destroy the people. You make them miserable. I mean, you could get like a slave class, an effective slave class, and that would kind of keep the economy going along. But after a while, you just the people are going to give up. They say, "Nope, we're not doing." Which is why I'm really kind of I don't know if interested is the right word, but I'm invested in seeing where Gen Z is going to go because they woke up. They're saying, "No, we're not doing this corporate bullshit." No, at least the men are saying, "No, we're not going to college." I'm gonna. Are you all waking up now? Are we gonna tell the bosses to fuck off? Are we gonna make it that we don't need college degrees anymore? What's gonna happen? We actually gonna say we're not commuting anymore? Are we gonna tell our leaders in a democracy where we are technically the leaders, they are our represent. We're gonna tell them, no, fuck you. Our video game companies all gonna go bankrupt, except for the ones say, hey, wait a second. Maybe we should make good games that work that involve girls with tits and legs. Oh my God. What would I'm not kidding. Could you imagine if I had Borderlands? Borderlands 4. All right. Bunch of hot chicks, and you got to unlock not only weapons, but lingerie outfits for the different women that you can play. I guarantee you it would make more than all the other Borderlands. And yes, a lot of women would get sand in their hoo-ha and be upset that there are pretty girls in a video game. You won't care when you make $8 billion on one video game. And we'd make a game for girls too. It would be emotional sappy pants and his love affair. It would just be a Harlequin romance novel, except in video game form. You know, there'd be a bunch of guys all chasing after him, and it'd be talking and discussion. They'd be easy to program. It'd be text based. You know, like those what do they call them? Novel games or game novels, story games where there's no game. It's just what was it? Um, oh, what was the one? It was horrible. It had good art, but it was just horrible. Oh, I forgot. It was like a detective game. First game I bought that was one of those story games. I'm like, "Where's the action?" It's like, "Oh no, it's just text." Like, fuck off. Fuck off. God, what was that name? I forget. Uh Not common to find what they say. I have seen other YouTube channels similar to yours go over similar conversations that you do. Yeah, there's a generation of us. We're just saying fuck the real world. It's all lies. I hope you have a nice day. Looking forward to your next videos on YouTube. I plan to purchase more of your books from Amazon. Best, John. Well, thank you, John. Appreciate that very much. This one I'm gonna do that. That's this I gotta do. Oh, oh, this is good. Okay, so this guy sent in an email, and me and Chad addressed it about how California, it's called the Financial Transactions Board, their tax authority. California, more than any other place, will try to go outside of their state borders and get money from people outside of California. And he was talking about how he didn't know whether you want to become a 1099er, or a lot of employers don't want to give you 1099 because it's something to do with California and New York trying to tax you or tax them. And I was kind of confused. So here's what he says. You gave me the answer I needed. I'm sorry for so poorly wording the request, as you mentioned, confusion. What I have been seeing on Reddit was that workers were reporting that their employers were wary of having remote workers become digital nomads because California and other states have been sending letters to employers that they owed California withholding because California could prove through various means that an employee did work while in California. So I'm a contractor, let's just say, and you have a company in Wisconsin, right? And I live in Nevada. And for whatever reason, I decide to go visit a friend in San Diego, and I use some his wireless, and the California tax authorities see that I use their wireless and somehow figured out I was doing business there. They then will claim that you owe the California Financial Transaction Board my labor taxes, like Fuda, Suda, Wuda, Kuda, on that amount of money that I generated in California. All right. Now, Chad and I talked about this. Good luck, California. Good luck fucking enforcing that. They are way stepping out of their bounds. All you have to do is not go to California. There are some issues where you don't want to have your bank in California. You don't want to have your financial institutions in California. It's just another reason. California is a parasite. That's all it is. They want to enslave you. They're so desperate for money and they're so arrogant. Instead of saying, well, fine, Bobby came here to work, but he's a Nevada resident or a Missouri resident. We're not gonna waste our time going after that. They will. That's something that employers have a concern about. I'm gonna tell you all this. All right. Please don't be like Elon Musk, and it takes you 20 fucking years to realize you should never, ever set up shop in California. Don't take this long to figure out you should absolutely do no business whatsoever with California. If they're going to get this tyrannical, and that's what it is, why even bother with it? And then, unless they actually have like a legit, like you were in California, or you have a nexus, or you have a factory in California. Man, if the Financial Transaction Board ever says like, you owe us tax, come get me. I'd love to see you. You don't have arresting powers in whatever, Texas or Nebraska. Get the fuck out of here. But the fact they're that aggressive, all of you should start thinking about, geez, you almost will have to come up with a strategy like, yeah, we have nothing to do with California. Our contractors don't come from California. We don't sell things in California. We don't bank in California. We don't have anything to do with California. But yeah, if it's come to that, no, let me pull it up. And then for those of you who do 1099, okay, fine. I got to spend 3 months in California. Whatever, help with your mom or something. You got to really seriously think about, mom, get out of California. I'm not coming out there to help. You got to move. Nope, I'm not paying those taxes. Just don't visit California anymore. Why? And I don't know why you would. I mean, they got some nice national parks, but just why? Why would you? I don't go to California. Last time I went to California was to go visit Thor. That was it, after his surgery. That was it. But it was a day in and out. Didn't really conduct any business. I guess Thor in a certain way is marketing. Yes, I guess. But yeah, I mean, tell him to fuck off. No. Send your troops, buddy. I'd love to see you try and get past the border and see what happens. Get the sheriff in. Yeah, this guy from California claims he's got jurisdiction here. What do you think about that, Sheriff Johnson? Sheriff Johnson just smiling. You're from California? And you're here illegally harassing one of my citizens? Well, shucks, howdy. We got some free lodging for you. They owe California withholding because California could prove through various means that the employee did work while in California. Something like worker decides to sit on bench in San Diego and work on his laptop for a couple weeks for a company based in Tennessee. California states that because the worker was traveling through the state doing work, even though the company's based in Tennessee, California wants the couple of weeks of tax-free holding for the worker to file as a California tax return. Workers are reporting that their companies are either denying remote work entirely because they don't want the risk of digital nomad tax from a blue state, or telling their employees to handle it themselves by becoming a 1099er. Okay, so right. So if you're a W 2 and you're remote work, they don't want to give you remote work because you might live in California, go work in California. And they may not have to pay. They could probably tell California to fuck off and there's no consequence. They don't want to deal with that. All right? They don't want to deal with that. And that's why they're denying you remote work. So here's the thing. Don't live in California. Don't live in New York. Don't live in Connecticut. Don't live in Massachusetts. Probably don't want to live in Minnesota either. Say, no, I'm not going to go there. And then why would you? Why would you go to these places anyway? I don't know why would you even want to go to New York, even if you're just traveling and visiting? So you would have to say, no, I'm going to be a citizen of Tennessee. I'm not going to go to New York. I'm not going to go to California. If I do, I ain't doing no work. I'll leave my work laptop at home. To me, it sounds kind of like a weak excuse not to give you remote work. Like, well, we can't. Well, we don't know if you're going to go to California or New York. Kind of sounds like a weak explanation. But then they say, yeah, you're a 1099er. All right. That's up to you. And they say, we make you a contractor, which is what you want. And that's fine because then you can write off different travel expenses, other expenses that normal W 2 wage slaves can't. And then it's up to you to make sure you don't go to California. It's up to you to make sure you don't conduct business in New York. Now, I don't know how the fuck California, like, I mean, you log in, how do they know you're doing work versus just, I don't know, checking Facebook? I have no idea how they do that, but I'm not going to find out. I'm not going to, I don't go to California because I don't even want to give them tax money on the gas. I fill up in Vegas all the way. Like, I'm not going to pay those fuckers. Sounds like you and Chad are in agreement that going the 1099 route is perfectly fine as long as you are fairly compensated. As for the tax situation, just don't nomad through blue states in the future looks like the best option. Yep. Even more reason to keep me and my money out of California, New York to me. You do not hang out with abusive entities, whether that's a spouse, an employer, or a government, state or local. You don't go. I know you all keep thinking I'm crazy. You don't go where the meter maids are given explicit instructions to give you parking tickets that are bullshit because the city needs to raise taxes. And even though you follow the rules in the sign, they give you tickets anyway. You don't go to those places. You don't give them their money. The worst thing you can do to parasites is deny them a host. That's why you don't date bad people. That's why you don't live in leftist Marxist shitholes. And they get all pissed off because it's just the city of parasites, a community of parasites. I'm like, there's not enough money. No one's. I mean, I love inner city, Minneapolis or whatever. Well, no one's coming downtown. Like, well, you hate white people. You tax the fuck out of them. I mean, okay, they will come in like sheep for the game, bro. You rob them. You literally talk about how much you hate white people in suburban, which makes the majority of suburbanites. It's not safe, and your place smells like shit. Gee, I have no idea why people aren't showing up at your hate-filled shithole. And California is the same way. It's just statewide. Well, gee, I can't imagine why everyone's leaving California. Uh, Ken Rose, $2. Thank you. Oh, let me make sure I get through all the. Um, gotta do a video. Gotta do that. Gotta watch a movie. uh, gotta do that. I got a lot of asshole consulting to do. Um, that one I gotta mark. I'm gonna delete this one. I go through the amount of emails I get that have nothing to do with work. Delete that. Okay. Delete that. This is from Christoph. He's talking about Far Cry 5. Look at this real-time emails. You actually won. Plot was created by a bunch of assholes. Interesting, well-executed game, but the edgy writers screwed the player. You play a BATF agent. Antagonist is a David Koresh copy. Yeah, I figured that much. 3 possible endings. Refuse the first raid after the intro game ends, but player gets out fine. Refuse end of game raid. Discover antagonist secretly brainwashed you and you murdered all your friends. 3 wind end of game raid. Discover antagonist really was God's agent of the apocalypse and end up stuck with him in a nuclear bunker as the world. I just want to play a game, you know? Like I knew it was going to be kind of woke horse shit, or there'd be. I wasn't playing for the story. I just wanted a basic run and gun first person shooter. And I've played other Far Cries in the past that I enjoyed. I thought, okay, it's in Montana. All right, that's kind of nice. And no, they can't. I couldn't even watch the story because it froze up. Really, I'm not kidding. Give me Borderlands. David Pritchard, just give me Borderlands, man. I'm gonna make more money with than you. It's gonna be a real simple thing. There's some bad villain and some with the vaults, and only a team of lingerie-clad badass women could go do something about it. And then you gotta play each of the girls' story, right? And then they make a team, and then there's like 5 different outcomes based on the 5 different girls. And in addition to weapons upgrades, you can get lingerie upgrades, but the lingerie actually has defensive mechanics. It actually provides armor. Who's a billionaire? This guy. Look, do you video game people need a PR guy to tell the autists and the spurgs and the Twitter mob to shut the fuck up? Do you need me to tell the 3 people that have bot farms that make it look like they're a million to shut the fuck up? Do you need me to do that for you? Do you want me to come in, be efficiency expert, and fire all your DEI and HR hires? You want me to clean house? You want to get back to brass tacks? Oh my god! I'll give you the secret. So the person from CBS, like, who the fuck are you? You're who from what? CBS? Fuck off! What do you got your problem? We heard that you fired all the DEIers. Yeah, they weren't doing the jobs. You got any other question? Well, isn't that racist? Fuck you. Bye. Oh, by the way, buy our shit. We got it coming out. Big tits. Big tits. All the guys would line up for it. 10 million copies sold on the. Oh, and by the way, our game will work. We've tested it. We got 100 people to play the beta. We got all the bugs out and all that. There might be an update, but it's going to be very rare. Here you go. And you own it. See, it's a physical game. You own it. You put it in and it fucking plays. There it is. That's yours. That's yours now. Nope, we don't. No. There's no DLC. There's none of that shit. Nope, it's just a game. You own it. You put it in the console. It plays. It works. Maybe the download content would involve more lingerie outfits and more guns. Becky Beckerson from fucking mainstream media outlet says, I'm offended. And then we'd advertise that. Like, Becky Beckerson, queen of the Karens, offended. Game is fun with tig old biddies. Profits exceeded for Borderlands 4 with new director owner Aaron Clary. Profits exceeded $10 billion. Cappy's using the proceeds to go buy other IPs from Disney for 30 cents. Turns Disney around. Ken for $2. Thank you, Ken. Dixon Steele, $5. The United States became allied with Russia and China. Would this help the economy? Say that nobody wants to get rid of the welfare, but do make friends. Yeah, it would help. Look, anytime you become friends with another country, instead of being antagonistic, which is why I'd say the United States and China is, or cowardly hostile, like we send weapons to Ukraine to destroy Russian assets. All right. That's not helping Russia. not really helping us either. Like, we don't gain anything by, you know, weapons don't produce good. You can't eat a gun. Okay. A tank doesn't increase your standards of living. All right. Yes, if you are friendly with other nations, it's better than being hostile or antagonistic. I mean, it won't get rid of the welfare state, but yeah, you probably get more favorable trading terms with each other. I mean, not destroying each other works well too. That just Unkono, $2. Spriggan 1998 movie, Wise Legacy. Okay. Just kidding. Just Disco Elysium. Thank you. Thank you, JK. That was, oh my God. It was abortion cancer, a cancerous abortion. It was horrible. And then I also played more Tales from Beyond the Borderlands. Oh, Borderlands, new game. I like Borderlands. And it was just absolute fetal cancer. Horrible. Okay, we caught up with that. We caught up with that. Cappy is done. I think we're done here, guys. Link below is a link to all my stuff. I will be opening up the minimalism course later on today when I get around to it. We got all the other courses available for you there. And that's it. I'm out. We'll see you guys later.